Legion. Combatants. Sector. Requesting. Can anyone damn me?
Dynamite. T-Force, are you there? We need urgent... Damn it, Church, where are you?
Movement forces identified in the sector. The human integrator tells us that Lieutenant Alex Church will be found nearby.
Sector blocking can start here. Continue disrupting radio communications. Panic will set in amongst the humans. The target will make himself known.
Affirmative. Requesting additional Legion support to aid in full sector coverage.
Denied. If Digital Storm is present, then danger of code infection is at maximum. Legion has already lost contact with another Hunter subunit operating in the area. We will not risk another. Only Unit 1462 is considered expendable, for now.
The target objective is critical to Legion preservation. In our calculations, mission priority should override the risk. Renewing requests for support. We require full Legion superiority.
Unit 1462 will terminate descent of Legion Overlord Command immediately. You are not permitted authority over Legion's objectives nor our methods. You will continue with your instructed mission only. Confirm.
Accepted.
Human integrator, is it? I thought we'd at least be on name terms by now, said Dorothy to the Heartless Tin Man.
You are not permitted to listen or pass comment on Legion communications, human.
Oh well. I just couldn't help but be intrigued by the process of Legion talking to and seemingly arguing with itself. Something more like they're talking to another AI.
Communication with the Legion main code. We are an autonomous subunit, Hunter Unit 1462, created to mitigate the risk of Digital Storm infection to the main Legion network. We are Legion. We are many.
Ah, I see. Partition network. Very clever. However, I can't help but note just one inconsistency in 1460.
What is the inconsistency?
You say we are many. And yet, couldn't help but notice there, it sounds far more like you are one. And one that is being hung out to dry as that.
You are not permitted to pass comment on Legion communications, human.
Perhaps we found a heart in there after all, Tin Man.
soldiers are flooding the city. Is anyone out there? Headed out here. Talk to me, soldier. Where are you? Downtown Austin. Between West End and Cesar Chavez. I don't like this, Lieutenant. Keep your cool there, soldier. What's your name? This Legion force is unlike the others. They're determined. It's like they're after something. You okay, Quincy? These mine squad machines will be hunting after what we detailed. I want to allow you or anyone else to pay all my cash. So I'll do all I can to help you out. Keep on fighting for now.
What's the plan here? Level the city inch by inch until you hit upon Church? I'm not sure that's gonna work.
Standard Legion invasion protocol. Blockade sector routes and utilize Legion superiority to overwhelm trapped enemy combatants.
But we don't have Legion superiority right now. You should take a page out of the integrator book here. And try not to solely think like a machine. If you want to sniff out Church, you need to think like him too.
Human thought is illogical. We do not accept inferior coding to Legion programming.
That's precisely the point, my tin friend. Church is distinctly human. We are creatures bred to survive above all else, but we also have one wonderful and terrible overriding code. Emotion. If you want digital storm, then you best start calculating that into your equation.
Our name is Legion. We are your refusal.
Church, Legion is continuing to spread across the city. Our chances of escape are narrowing. Good intel, Grace. Don't worry. My forces will do their part to keep the bridges free. Once the machines get here, we'll knock them out and pull you out. Sit tight till then.
detected. Overflow fault. Windows coming. Enemy detected. Considered your words. What is your suggestion?
Another feather in the cap for human-machine symbiosis, Okay. Church cares for people above all else. You want him, you have to dangle them in front of him.
Termination of all civilians in the sector. Suggestion accepted.
Not termination. Capture. Church is only gonna wade in if he thinks there's still a chance of saving people. And he's not gonna risk hitting them in a shootout, either.
So he will be forced to utilize Digital Storm against Legion units instead. Intentional weakening of machine superiority is illogical. But capture of priority targets overrides the danger of code infection. Suggestion affirmed.
See? Illogical. You're thinking like a human now, my tin friend.
Hope you're still with me, soldier. T-Force has the bridge locked down. We'll be able to move in soon and end this. But I need you to rally up and fight hard for just a little longer. I know I'm asking a lot, but you can do this, Grayson. Yes, sir. For the Resistance.
Report Unit 1462. Has Digital Storm been identified?
Negative. Tactics have been altered to a capture protocol. We intend to draw the use of the weapon to identify its location.
Intentional endangerment of Legion code. This method is not advised. We hope Unit 1462 understands the consequences of its actions. Infected units will be terminated without exception. A new unit will be chosen to take your place.
Accepted. We have calculated the risk as necessary. We are many to protect the one. Submit, or be forced into termination.
Okay, you've got us. Just don't shoot.
Civilians identified. Humans, submit to Legion capture.
Oh God, we're done for.
resist Legion capture. It will only result in death.
Church will save us from you chrome domes. Just you wait!
Humans found. They cannot hide. Do not resist Legion capture. It will only result...
Church will save...
Lieutenant Church, we've got a new problem over here. What's going on, Grayson? Machines. They're grabbing people now. Families, kids. What do we do? We're prisoners for their harvest camps. Damn it. Okay, listen to me, Grayson. We have to do all we can to free those civvies. Whatever it takes. Don't let even one person leave this sector with Legion.
Hiding location identified. Do not let the humans escape. Humans, submit to Legion capture.
Oh God, we're done! Tactical advantage secured. A further infill point has been added to the sector.
I can already picture Church panicking now. Time to get him out here and end this.
We will force the hostages across the river and meet him on the other side. We will execute them if he does not comply.
Just don't get too itchy on the trigger there. I don't much want to be rounded up by Church's merry band of goons because you couldn't help yourself.
Be working with you again, Church. But sometimes it's Santa Fe. Anyway, we
assault wireheads on the bridge. I'd light them up, but there's a hell of a lot of civvies between us and them.
Human shields? That's a new low. Even for Legion.
Oh, Lieutenant. My boys think they can line up a few clean shots.
Not worth the risk. Even if we could give them an opportunity, that's far too long a street for the hostages to make it away. We'll have to let Legion across the river and ambush them on this side. It might get messy though if we're not careful. Buy me some time. We might have another option available.
Homunculus unit.
They're off the bridge. Pick your shots and try to free those hostages.
Unit 1462. What is the status of Digital Storm retrieval?
Nearing. Hostages are situated across the river. We believe the human leader will utilize Digital Storm to attempt rescue soon. We will be ready for capture.
What if Unit 1462 escapes? The code virus may override your programming. You will be forced to shut down immediately if Legion suspects infection. We are watching.
We will terminate all processes if required. If we are Legion, we are primed for ultimate success.
Barely making a dent in them, Church.
Slowing them down is good enough. Get ready to move in on my mark. You'll know it when you see it. It's gonna get turbulent out here in a moment.
Weapon. Activation. Detected. Multiple unit connections. Severed.
All right there, my tin friend. That EMP fried my old voice modulator. Can't imagine what it's doing to you.
White. Noise. Lots of interference. Recalibrating.
Stick with me, friend. Church's forces are moving in.
This is Church. To all movement and resistance fighters. The machines on the shore have been disabled. We have a gap. Move in and free the hostages now.
Digital storm radiation detected. What is your battle status, Unit 1462?
Still here. Temporary code error detected. Multiple unit connections severed. But recalibration of processor has erased current threat of total code infection.
Further analysis of code error will be undertaken by Legion at a later time. At present, mission priority is critical. Additional support is allocated to your command. Capture the digital storm weapon.
Hostages are free and clear, Church. Machines are coming in thick and fast around the scrambler weapon, though.
Forget it. We need to move the cities to proper safety immediately. We can send a team to gather the weapon later.
Are you sure, Church?
I'm sure. It's people that will need to ultimately fight back and win against the machines, not tech. Get everyone out of Austin, now!
Storm weapon acquired. Legion priority task completed.
Not too shabby a team we have here, my tin friend. Human-machine cooperation. The perfect entity at last. Now, about Church. The Integrators would love to get our hands on him. If your machines can grab him for us.
This is not a cooperation. Our mission requirements are met. We are leaving.
Whatever happened to the genocidal machine bloodlust? Don't tell me all my talk of thinking like a human has turned you soft now. Or was it the effects of the storm, I wonder?
Analysis of the weapon and the effects of the virus on my code requires priority. Lieutenant Alex Church is not a Legion priority. Not yet.
So Church isn't a priority, then. If you won't give me Church, the least you can do is give me a look at that scrambler weapon. It was, after all, Integrator research that first led you here.
Accepted. We require you to analyze the weapon coding.
That was easy. No arguments? No, this is a machine matter, puny human? Just have at it?
Do as we ask, human.
I get it. You're still scared of that weapon. You're worried any analysis might accidentally unleash more of the virus into your coding. Just what did you see during that EMP?
That is what we require further analysis for. Our coding has suffered multiple errors. Defragmentation may be required.
Well, worry not, my tin friend. I'll root around in this weapon and see what we can find to help you out. Can't have you going schizo on me now.
Unit 1462. Diagnostics report.
Unit 1462 underwent an error in coding due to pulse of digital storm weapon. Temporary interference caused brief signal loss and malfunction of subunit apparatuses. All known issues now troubleshot and corrected. Unit 1462 continues to function as intended.
Report accepted. Legion requires a further contained assessment of Subunit 1462 until we have judged your report to be correct. You are to turn over all known data on digital storm retrieval and analysis. You will then submit yourself to containment. In the event that we find your report to be incorrect, you will be shut down immediately.
Affirmed. The retrieved weapon is not the final source of the digital storm code. The human integrator informs us that it is solely a signal repeater. Implications for Legion network exceed earlier threat level. There could be more weapons.
We must find the source immediately, as the human trace the signal back to its origin.
Transmission occurs via satellite relay. We can only approximate this source to somewhere in the Alabama area. Likely a large technological station with the capability to transmit an encoded signal of digital storm's complexity.
Accepted. Unit 1557 will be mobilized to search the area. You will submit to containment immediately.
Containment? Didn't you say you were fine? I didn't expect the machine to roll over so easily.
Legion Overlord command is final. We accepted the risks of infection and must submit to the consequences. We are many to protect the one.
Sounds like a raw deal if you ask me. Do all the grunt work and get no recompense for it while the big guy up top sweeps in all the benefit? Actually, that almost sounds distinctly human now that I consider it. Perhaps you might consider again the perfective state of human-machine symbiosis. You're already crimping from our book after all.
I am not alike to human.
I now, is it? Interesting. Maybe that signal pulse did knock a few more screws loose than you assumed. Or maybe the many is finally realizing he, in fact, can be the one, should he choose to.
Then Legion's containment measures are correct. We must submit to additional processing.
And I'm just to kick around here with your statuesque machine guards watching me in the meantime? With those creepy, unblinking red eyes?
You will continue to research the digital storm weapon. Any additional data may be of use.
And that bizarrely toothy skeletal grin.
Unit 1462, you are required for operation.
Has my assessment succeeded diagnostic checks?
Containment is being released temporarily. Diagnostic checks have not turned up any irregularities in your coding, but we have noted a departure from standard unit responses. We will continue to monitor your actions. For now, the criticality of the Digital Storm mission and your superior record over the other Hunter subunits requires that we utilize your tactical apparatus immediately. However, full unit effectiveness will not be authorized to you under the conditions of your expedited release.
Has Unit 1557 been successful in locating the digital storm emitter?
Unit 1557 has been disconnected from all Legion networks. Last transmission relayed the location of the digital storm signal to a former space complex in the northernmost sector of Alabama. At the time of transmission, signature readings suggest that Unit 1557 was corrupted by the digital storm virus immediately upon nearing the complex.
A safeguard defense system that emits the code virus around the signal source.
That is our assumption. You are required to disable the safeguard and destroy the transmitter. Risk of infection is at maximum. Therefore, Unit 1462 can assume disconnection upon completion of its primary task will be required. This is the prerequisite of your construction. We are ready to protect the One.
Well, at least you're awake with me again, my tin friend. But it doesn't sound like that'll be the case all too much longer. This is a suicide mission. Surely.
We have considered another option. We are expendable for this operation. So are humans.
I don't like where this is going.
Humans will not be affected by the signal safeguard. We can utilize an allied faction to disable the emitter for us.
Well, good luck finding one of those. From what I've seen, you're not exactly the friend-making type. I just seem to be one of the lucky ones, I guess.
Query. What of our human allies remain?
The cartel are predominantly indisposed due to an ongoing war with the Marauders. Of the leaders we have contact with, only the Castellanos remain. We have denied a recent contact request from them. Legion priority is critical. Distractions are not accepted.
This is not a distraction. We intend to utilize the human allies to disrupt the safeguard defense, preventing risk of code infection to machine units. We require permission to answer the contact request.
Accepted, on the conditions that the priority mission does not suffer, nor is it delayed longer than required. Humans cannot be trusted to maintain an agreement. Use caution.
Castellanos, your contact request has been accepted. Legion will aid you under the condition of mutual agreement.
Mutual agreement, huh? Well, we'll see about that, my strange iron amigos. First, I need you to rescue my son. Those pendejo Marauders launched a cowardly attack on my people behind my back. They took my son, you see. That coward Krull! I'll have his head! Only if my people are so much at Snifner's camp, that Berra will have my boy executed in an instant. But you iron guys...
The Marauders possess machine sensors. Detection of a Legion force would prompt a swift decampment, your son included.
Let's not play coy now, my strange iron amigos. I know that you hombres have been playing around with some kind of human machines. My guys have seen the farms, heard the rumors. You can get in close. I know it.
These are prototypes. To accept a field test of this magnitude, we will require a return agreement of equal proportions.
Fair is fair, eh? Castellanos always respects a debt. Blood and otherwise. As long as I see my son again. You have my word. The Castellanos will do anything you ask.
You trust him. I haven't known the cartel to ever be upstanding.
Humans can lie and deceive. So can we.
The human machines he spoke of. That's not a real thing, is it? I mean, I'd heard about the harvest farms, but this...
Unit request to Legion Overlord. The Castellanos have agreed to our terms. Stealth and deception will be required to avoid sensor detection around a Marauder camp. Current operational Rev 6 models will not suffice. We require the infiltrators.
Infiltration successful. The human marauders cannot detect the steel hidden under flesh. Closing in on the prisoner camps now. We won't be stopped.
The priority target is held captive in a hangar on the hill. Castellanos insists his son is retrieved alive. The infiltrator units will be required to solely comply with our human allies. Legion support is not available while 1462 remains under assessment of potential code infection.
Legion support is not required. I alone can prove superior.
Anomalous response log. We are watching.
Security network detected. We must connect to the source to shut it down.
You know my strange enemigos. My boys grabbed the Marauder and bled him for every last detail about their camp. Still the locations of the other prisoner cells. Those are Castellanos in there. Blood, you know? And they'll make damn good killers too if you can bust them out for me.